So that's the next episode, but this week we are solo dolo.
It's just us.
I'm solo, you're dolo.
Alright.
Does that work?
That's fine with me.
Let's get down to some music, man. Let's get down to some goddamn music.
He did it. He did it. So all you little 12-year-old white boys can stop complaining about.
Yeah, here's the real question: are 12-year-old white boys fucking with this, or are they hating on this?
They
Because
hating
I gotta
on
take
this.
the contrary.
I think they hating on this.
I think they might be hating on this too. What do you think? What do you think there is to hate on the new Lil Uzi album? Like, if you had to pick one gripe to have with it off rip, and I'm not saying whether you like it or not, but just if you got a problem with it, what's the number one problem with this album?
It's a little like repetitive. I feel like there's a lot of like, not like track to track, but just like overall, like every 3 tracks kind of like, I feel like the song sounds the same as the last. Like there's clear, okay, I'm not sure how I'm trying to say this. There's like a clear there's clear sectionality in the album where like the first 3 tracks sound like the same, the middle 3 tracks, then it kind of just like none of it really feels like one cohesive album. It feels like a bunch of little things that could have dropped separately. But I don't know if that's a problem, really. I don't know if I really find that an issue. It's the first thing I noticed.
So what are we sitting here at I guess 2 bonus tracks, which puts it at 16 or 18 in total. So 16 song album or an 18 song album.
How long? Like
an hour and 2 minutes.
Again, man, I just like Lil Uzi is like one of the artists. Like it's like Uzi, Thug.
What about Cardi?
Cardi could do it. I just feel like maybe it's just because they have a lot of music that it might be just like a workhorse mentality. They're just always working, and especially, I mean, this album has been on the cusp for like 2 years, like 3 years. So
yeah, how much music does Lil Uzi make? You know, that's the real question, because I feel like that the answer to that is a lot. So I do really wonder about the process of that album. But I said this in the chat that I'm really glad that we got Eternal Atake and not like a different project. Yeah, if that makes sense. I'm glad that it was branded.
That being said, like
as this thing that we've been waiting to hear.
I get that. Like the lead up to it, I'm glad that it's still the same album. But then I'm like listening to this. It's an hour long. It took like 3 years to come out. How do we know that this is Eternal Atake? Like that's what I'm saying is I feel like this could Eternal Atake could have been any 16 to 18 songs. You know, like I don't know how much.
So are you saying that the concept of the album maybe doesn't shine through or hold up? Because I feel like
know what the concept of the album is really, but no, what I'm more saying is that.
Or what about these songs says Eternal Atake?
Yeah, like I'm thinking like what
if he came out with Love Is Rage 3 and just had all these songs?
It was the same thing.
Does it change anything?
I think it does. I think it doesn't garner as much hype, first of all, because I just think the build up is so important, and especially the big artists like this, especially the big artists that you really haven't gotten that much from. If you think about it, he's been around for like 5 years, like longer than that, but he's been like in the limelight 5 years, and we really have only heard like one.
No. We've heard. Wait, go ahead and finish. Sorry.
We've only heard like one major release, I feel like.
One debut album being Love Is Rage 2.
Yeah. When you've had not a lot of music, but you've been in the limelight, and then you wait a long time to drop an album, the hype that surrounds that, because no one really knows what they're about to get, is really massive. And so I think that I don't know how much stock I put in Uzi as like a
album artist? Not
an album artist, but just as like a big grand release artist. Like I just feel like this album, the song, the track, every track, if you take it just the track list, not the name of the album or like the artwork or the fact that it's Uzi, even just the track list could have been any album. Like I don't think it needed to be Eternal Atake. I think Eternal Atake was the idea of the album, not the actual album itself.
It played into the skits and the album cover and the aesthetics and, you know, kind of everything that surrounds the music, but you're having a hard time hearing what Eternal Atake means in terms of music itself.
Yeah, or I just don't. I don't know what it's
album,
supposed to be.
I don't know why it couldn't be called, something else.
Yeah, or when I listen to this album, I don't know what else it could have been. Eternal Atake could have been. There was so little information, but so much hype around it that I just don't like. I don't think that this lives up to the expectation as much as I wanted it to. Therefore, I don't want to like just come to terms with that. This is exactly what the album was the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's probably a lot of changes, a lot of difference. And I honestly would rather have something a little bit more like Love is Rage 2, but I'm not like mad at this. It's still a good album. I think he's a good rapper too. Like, I don't have any problem with him rapping, but I just think like my expectation, which again was not very much because I'm not a huge Uzi fan. Not my expectation of quality, but my expectation of what it would sound like was different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's a good album. I'm not, like, disappointed with the album.
But quality-wise, you probably didn't expect too much anyways.
Not even... I mean, quality... I still think quality-wise it's fine, but just content-wise...
No, I'm saying, like, you didn't expect too much. You didn't get too much. I mean, even if it's good, I'm saying you didn't expect anything amazing. You didn't expect anything. I don't even think you probably really had.
No, but that's what I'm saying is I kind of did expect something really good, and I got it. Like I think this is a good album. Like I like this album a lot.
Okay.
I'm not even saying that I didn't expect much and it was met. Like my expectations were met. I'm saying it was like I expected a pretty good album because there was a lot of hype, and I got a pretty good album, but it just sounds different than what I thought it would sound like.
I guess I'm with you in the sense that I went in expecting a pretty good album. Mm-hmm. Because the singles we've heard so far have been pretty good, and then on top of that, it's been a hyped up album. It's an artist that we're familiar with. It's an artist that we like. It's an artist that we've been waiting for this album for a while. So I was expecting a pretty good album. Mm-hmm. I would be pretty bummed, right, if this came out and it was honest to God mid.
If it was just like hot fire trash, like
or even worse, like really really bad, that would suck. I think I went in thinking pretty good album, and I got a pretty good album.
Yeah. But
I was curious if he would make a really good album, basically. If he would do something that I didn't expect, or he would come with something that kind of changed how I was ready to think about new Uzi music.
Yeah.
Because right now there are some standout songs, and I guess I'll get to that, but there are also some songs that I think may grow on me a little bit more. I'm kind of waiting to see that. Obviously, we do this podcast every week, and we're only a couple days out from a project being released. And obviously, like you said, this is a project we've been waiting on for multiple years at this point. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm looking forward to maybe the end of the month. Now that we're recapping albums, I'm really interested to see if this stays in that top 5 or if it gets knocked off by some other albums that come in and it ends up being a busy month. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling that this will grow on me. I have a feeling that it will probably resonate with me as one of my favorite albums of the month by the end of the month. But as of today, there's like, I would say 5 songs I'm really confident in right now that I think are like complete jams. And not to say that it's only 5 out of the 16 or whatever that I like. Not saying that, because I think there are more songs that I like. I just know for sure right now there's probably about 5 songs that, if if I had to spin them, they'd be pretty fire. I guess I have 5 songs on the playlist right now.